You get to learn the roles of the most powerful positions in the US government and how they check each other's power. How will you wield these awesome powers? Introducing a card game that is based off of coup. Check. This is a great game for up to 3 to 6 players and perfect for playing in your friend group or with your family.
There are 6 types of cards, 5 of which represent roles in the United States government. Each player is a political party trying to advance their own political agenda through their control of policymakers. The roles are senators, representatives from the House of Representatives, the President, Supreme Court justices, and interest groups. Each of these are able to check each other, meaning none can dominate over the rest. These are the rules.
In the beginning of each game, everyone draws 2 cards from the deck. Everyone starts with 2 currency. Each person has certain actions they can take based off these cards. The rounds go through everyone in a clockwise order. You lose and are out of the game once you lose both cards, meaning that you have failed to influence the US government. The goal of the game is to be the last player standing. This represents your political party successfully influencing the US government and its policies.
Income is the most passive action in the game. You can take 1 currency from the treasury each time it's your turn instead of taking your role's actions. Income represents funding for preferred programs in the national budget, which a political party wants in order to accomplish their policy goals. The player with the president card can collect foreign aid, which is 2 currency, from the treasury. The president has the informal power to negotiate treaties as their role in foreign policy. Players with a senator card are able to check this action. Senators act as a check on the president as they have the power of treaty ratification with foreign countries after a 2/3 supermajority vote.
Because the legislative branch of the United States is a bicameral legislature, there are 2 types of cards to represent the senators of the Senate and the representatives of the House of Representatives, each with their own separate actions they can take. Senators serve as a check on the President and Supreme Court justices. Players with the representative card can create a tax bill and with that power, take 3 currency from the treasury. All tax bills in the United States start in the House of Representatives Ways and Means Committee. The U.S. Constitution requires all tax bills to originate in the House of Representatives.
Players with a Supreme Court Justice card can rule your actions unconstitutional and therefore make you forfeit a card. This is the principle of judicial review, which is the power to declare actions of the executive and legislative branches constitutional or unconstitutional. They can be checked by senators who can check Supreme Court's unfavorable rulings by passing legislation that supersedes it and therefore makes the ruling less effective. In the U.S. government, the judicial branch can be checked by both the President and the House, but for this game, the Senate has the power to check justice.
Players with an interest group card cannot be impeached or removed as they are not in office. They can also lobby Congress, which gives 2 currency to the player that they think has a congressman card, and if the player is correct in their guess, they gain 2 currency from the treasury. Guessing correctly means that the interest groups have successfully impacted legislation. If the player guesses wrong, the 2 currency still goes to the other player.
Impeachment and removal is a check on all government officials. If a player has both a senator and representative card, they can pay 5 currency to make another player lose a card. Impeachment requires a simple majority vote from the House to impeach and a 2/3 supermajority vote from the Senate for removal from office.
The last of the 6 cards is the exchange card. It allows players with the card to draw 2 cards from the deck and pick 2 cards to put back. The final action a player can do is launch a check by paying 7 currency to the treasury against another player. That player immediately loses a card and is unable to block the action. If a player starts a turn with 10 or more currency, they are required to launch a check.
However, because players' cards are unknown to each other, you can lie and deceive one another to advance your policy agenda. You can challenge another player if they claim to take an action that a certain card would permit them to do so, such as collecting extra currency or blocking one of your actions. Do this if you think they are lying about the cards that they have. If you challenge them and they do not reveal the card they claim to have, they are forced to lose a card. If you challenge them and they reveal that card, you must forfeit one of your own cards.
Not all the checks and balances these government roles have on each other are in the game, but they are enough to understand the importance of checks and balances in our government.
Now remember, you cannot win the game without checking the actions of other people, just like how the US government will not function if no roles checked each other. Will you be able to advance your political agenda? What are you waiting for? With complex gameplay and one-of-a-kind character cards, buy now!